Cryopreservation of human sperm has been routine since the 1980s. Today, cryopreservation of human eggs is quickly emerging as a safe and effective means for personal fertility preservation and for use with assisted reproductive technology.
Cryopreservation is a way that fertility clinics and long-term storage facilities can preserve gametes and embryos. The oocyte is basically the largest cell in your body and contains a lot of water. Cryopreservation success is essential in getting that water out of the cell before you freeze it so that this thaw will be successful. Being so much water in the oocyte, we had difficulty preserving human oocytes.
Advances in medical technology now afford fertility preservation for both men and women.
This new method of cryopreservation called vitrification allows us to do that. It allows us to preserve oocytes at any given time, which will be able to store basically indefinitely. So patients that did not have the opportunity to use this technology 10 years ago can come back now and choose a donor and have a really, really good chance of getting pregnant.
Northwest Cryobank, located in Spokane, Washington, is one of the few cryobanks to offer both donor egg and donor sperm.
In talking about the history of Northwest Cryobank, it's important to know that testicular cancer affects men in all stages of life, really, and most of the time the treatment they receive renders them with a fertility problem. So the founder of Northwest Cryobank recognized a need for donor sperm for these individuals and families that would allow them to expand their families. If you fast forward from there to 2013, where we are today, we have not only donor sperm, but we also have donor egg, and more importantly, we have cryopreservation for the individual's personal gametes, in other words, male sperm, female eggs.
Northwest Cryobank donors are screened and tested per FDA regulations and ASRM recommendations to include communicable disease testing, genetic screening, medical history, as well as mental health screening.
The FDA regulates the total laboratory operation, which includes the collection, the processing, the testing, the storage, and ultimately the distribution of both the gametes and/or embryos. The FDA considers communicable diseases as being what needs to be tested for. We also submit our donor to genetic testing, where they identify over 100 different diseases and conditions that our donor may be a carrier for.
The first step in the mental health screening process is for the donor coordinator to administer a personality assessment inventory. And this is a test that looks to see if there are any personality or psychopathology issues. So what I'm looking for is that the donor candidate is in a good state of mental health.
In addition, Northwest Cryobank provides services of egg retrieval and sperm donation to be stored for personal fertility preservation.
Our eggs and personal sperm are stored in cryogenic tanks that are filled with liquid nitrogen and are kept at negative 195 degrees Celsius. Women most commonly store their eggs because they may have a family history of early menopause. They may be undergoing cancer or other surgeries such as hysterectomies, or they might not just be at a point in their life where they're ready to have a kid.
Northwest Cryobank's online catalogs allow clients to search for both egg and sperm donors in the comfort of their home.
Our online catalog contains all of the information not only of our current donors, but all donors who we might also have an inventory for. A trait selector is what we feel very valuable to our clients. This is really a search mechanism where the client can put in unique characteristics, color hair, height, weight, various characteristics, and it will select all of those donors that will fall into those categories so they can narrow down their selection. They're also able to go even further and look at ethnic background, education, and a few other characteristics that will help them in their selection.
Each donor has a handwritten essay included with their online profile, as well as extensive personal information from time of childhood through their current age.
We ask them about 5 or 6 questions, describe your childhood years, your adolescence, your hobbies, pursuits, things like that. The reason why we have them do it by hand is we feel it lets the client have a little bit more of an intimate connection with the person. When you can kind of tell somebody's personality based on their handwriting. We also offer an extended profile of the donor, and that's going to include things like eye color, hair color, 3 generations of family health history.
You never know what you're going to get necessarily based on genetics, but with our photo matching program, we offer the chance for our patients to go ahead and send us a photo of whoever they want to match to, whether it be their child that they already have, if they want to match to a dad, just somebody in the family that they want the child to resemble.
Northwest Cryobank allows for much more control during the donor selection process, making it so that recipients may now choose a donor based on their own criteria, knowing that the donor has been screened and evaluated prior to being considered as a suitable donor.
Women in the U.S. today get involved in their work and then they decide to create a family later on in life, then that is when they may see that they may need both. They may need the donor sperm and the donor egg. So I think as we've progressed and as the years have come along, it's not such a rush to create a family. And so if a woman finds herself in that situation, we love to be able to help her choose both so that way she's in complete control of the outcome.
For more information, visit www.nwcryobank.com or call 800-786-5251.